Right, so first of all, we have the first game, Cloud9 versus FlyQuest in the playoffs of 2020 summer. Looking at the bans, we have Trundle, Graves, Kate, and for FlyQuest, we have Seth, Olaf, and Kalista. I already looked at the upcoming drafts of the other games, and what's interesting is an occurring uh, thing where Cloud9 does not let through Caitlyn. They play blue side in 3 out of 4 games. They do not let Kate be played a single time. Now, there can be a lot of reasons because of this, and it has been discussed quite heavily. Uh, Either it is just like Sven cannot play Kate, so they do not let it through as a way to play. But in that case, they probably should just let it through and pick Ashe. Now, what I think is the thing is they believe, okay, Kate, if we pick Kate, they'll pick Ashe, and we think that is a too bad of a matchup. So that does not work for them. And instead, they opt to ban Kate and pick Ezreal, who, according to them, probably has a good matchup into Ashe, into Senna, which are the only other real AD carries that they may believe is being played. Now, the question is, this is a solid idea until you get to the red side, where they play on red side later, which I'll touch on later. But essentially, according to them, Ezreal has no bad matchup aside from possibly Caitlyn in that case. So they use ban out Kate to always first pick Ezreal, and to that they accompany with Yuumi, which I guess they together they think is the strong spot lane, because they highly prioritize this every single of their game. FlyQuest opts into Ashe this game and the next game, which is a relatively safe option, gives them engage tools and early game power. The Yuumi blame pick is, I guess, what you could consider the more questionable here, because in that case they think that FlyQuest could possibly play Yuumi with Ashe, which is more of an unorthodox combo, but they opt into and prioritize it so heavily this matchup. So according to them, they probably think it's the best way. TF blind pick gives away already what Cloud9 wants to do. They want to play a weak side on bot lane. Bot lane is weak, and mid is just looking to either set up kills on bot lane together with whatever jungler they pick at 6. As bot lane will probably be even or just slightly behind, or they opt into, obviously. Like this is very common, like TF obviously is gonna TP away to roam, but they're not looking to make any plays on bot lane at least until that happens. So if we look here, they do know that Lilia is a very fast clear, so they'll probably opt into something like more skirmishing powers relatively early on the side of FlyQuest. Thresh is obviously something that can set up kills as well, with together with that as giving the extra mobility to get into the fight and getting onto them to begin with in the form of Thresh. And of course Ashe is also pretty good there. Which is why I'm kind of like wondering, because I think once EF goes in, depending on the position and stuff, it can be kind of hard to get onto the Ashe, as the ultimate is pretty good peel. So if the ultimate is timed correctly and there's enough space, she won't get stunned and just be able to walk out. Bans coming in here. GP is a good ban since they picked Shen. Good matchup later on. The problem with Gangplank into Shen is the skirmishing power early on is not that strong, but because Shen has like one of the stronger early game skirmishings. Jace is also something that could, yeah, Jace is something that could create a strong top side. It doesn't quite make sense because they already have a relatively scaling bot lane. So having something early game would mean that they are off theme. It could be used as a way to set up with TF to make sure they both get rolling. But the fact that they picked Shen shouldn't really put them in any possibility to get ganked by TF. Shen can, of course, move bot lane if TF choose to move there. Alternatively, they have the option to just not get ganked. I could be wrong here, but the TF stun should not be able to hit ever as long as he has W up. So he shouldn't really be scared of anything that could set it up. So I wouldn't be more scared of something that can play into Shen and you scale up and be scary in that way. Now, this is because the Shen is a great pick here. It makes it unable to. It's very hard for TF to gank that lane. Now, this is where it starts to get a bit wonky because sure, Vlad does heavily outscale this matchup. Like, it's not even funny, right? But it has no way to set this up. Like you can force it to set it up, but it is what it is essentially. Because they obviously still think that they can force things because they pick Nocturne, which is why it's really odd. The Nocturne is of course a very solid combo together with TF. Together with TF, these work really well where they can roam together close to very long range engage of Nocturne, and TF also is able to start fights whenever. So they'll probably opt into bot lane fights where they can where the squishier characters are, or they can catch out Lilia elsewhere on the map, or possibly Azir together with the Nocturne, because they got pretty good setup on that. Now, you can't really gank a Vlad lane early on because damage will never be enough here. Like, there will never be enough damage to kill a Shen. So that's pretty yikes. Bot lane is gonna need 6, most likely together with Yuumi to get a thing. Like, Ezreal has the damage, so with that in mind, it looks like bot lane all of a sudden gotta have focus, because otherwise they have 3 losing lanes essentially, because mid will get outpoked. Azir will poke this out. You can't really walk up to Azir STF here. And bot lane is not gonna beat this. Ashe Thresh beats this in a 2v2. It can be very hard to. I mean, they should. There is, of course, a poke advantage, potential and sustain advantage, and these outscale. Very high outscale, and of course, Vlad also outscales. And technically, probably this also outscales, but like, you have to get to that point here. Normally, I'm all about the ability to scale, but this is a bit too much because there's really no way to stop Lilia, who is very fast clear and ability to get in and out of jungle very fast, to not ever be able to. Just no way to stop her, really, from just re-entering the enemy jungle. So they don't really have a good answer because Nocturne can't really get a fear off. The movement speed should be too high, generally. What I'd rather see. What would I rather see here? I mean, I think if they're really sold in the bot lane, I'd rather see something else in the mid lane. And possibly top lane that's easier to set up. Like, the Gangplank is sadly banned, which would have been relatively okay. Otherwise, something more skirmishing. What exists into Shen? Let me just open a list of champions so I can remember stuff here. Like, Hecarim is pretty strong top laner right now. I wonder if that would work. I get it's kind of off theme with the rest because they seem to have a poke like composition moving into this. Like currently they have a global ganking composition, but like they can opt it into a more pokey composition and get advantage that way. Aetheric, of course, is better than TF, sadly, so it's kind of makes hard. But if they had a, they can't blind pick Kog'Maw. Maybe Zoe could have worked here, and then yeah, I think Zoe is the call there, and then later on for top lane, maybe you can opt into like you can opt into a split pusher. You can opt into like Fiora or Camille. I think Camille is kind of hard against Shen, maybe, but Fiora should have possibly an okay time against that. What else would be good here? Can you opt into a tank top lane? It's dying, but that's kind of like a very hard engage option there. Maybe Maokai as the disengage tool, and then you can opt into like something else in mid. You think Gragas would have worked better here? As Lilia will probably break and dominate in the jungle, you'll have very low budget, slow budget champions that have disengage tools are very high on the list currently. Gragas is probably the main one. If they had another top laner, like a melee one, maybe you can opt into Johnny and work with that synergy. Otherwise, it's probably pretty hard here. Volibear is probably not good either. Can't really get to anything on their team. I think Gragas is just the option here. That's interesting. My headset just died for a second. It's not bad or anything. I don't know. All right, let's try this again. So moving on to here, like if this was Gragas, they could have taken an 80 top laner. Hecarim is of course a possibility. I just think he's generally very strong. Fiora, a split pushing threat. Because they're probably not gonna win any fight. Yeah, they're not gonna win any fights anyway, so you might as well just opt into a split pushing comp. Gragas is of course very good at disengaging this tier. He shouldn't be able to do a streamer shuffle as long as Gragas is awake nearby. I do think the Gragas body slam beats Shen taunt. I could be wrong, but I think the Gragas slam has slightly longer range too, so that's also very good. Yeah, so like Gragas and then having like Fiora top lane would be very good here. Can you opt into anything else? No, I think that would be the choice here. Just then they have Fiora that he can still fight the Shen early on. Gragas of course has a place where he can do, and they actually get enough damage onto the Shen possibly in case they want to gank it. Also seem to work better at the general composition here. Let's see here. So let's actually move into the game here, I think now. But like, yeah, it's some these smaller flaws in the idea behind of it. Let's look into this. So a bit earlier maybe. Okay, this is the pretty interesting. Blobber is very far up, of course, defending to gain vision as early as possible, but this can be very bad. This taunt, oh, the taunt missed. Or no, he spell shielded? Yeah, okay, so yes, lower fast clear, but obviously Shen. I mean, he doesn't actually need the Q early on. He can't really walk up to Vlad, usually. So it doesn't matter. I guess it's the way to shield against early runs, but it's generally minimal. So actually, Shentai can taunt here is not really a bad thing. As you can see, they're really far moving up. You can't really. Yeah, they're very aggressive. Blabber's gonna fight here. The weak part about Ezreal Yuumi is they're very weak level 1, and obviously their laning is pretty weak. There's really nothing they can do here because TF choose to walk mid. Because otherwise he would be squished by the Azir here. This is actually extremely interesting how they opt into this invade. Now the fact that Nocturne didn't opt into his top side here is like kind of yikes. He's trying to contest this, but like he dying 1v2. Like the threat being here doesn't matter. Doesn't do anything at all. He's just kind of inting. Very underestimating the ability to screw them really big. Very questionable actually. It's a 2-minute. Lilia has 8 and she's gonna go secure her blue, red. Because there's no way for Nocturne to actually contest the Lilia blue. Actually, Lilia is just gonna walk up here. Yeah, this is really rough here. How did they not scout this out? Is Blabber AFK? Okay, so he's being pushed up because he has no push advantage in mid. Blabber clearing wolves. He hits level 2. Right. This is... yeah. There's really nothing he can do here. He's so behind. Oh my god. Very interesting pathing actually. Very aggressive. Lilia is of course very good at these early game skirmishes. I used a lot in LPL because of that. She's high priority here. This is of course Blabber not respecting the damage, being very desperate instead of just giving it up. And Thorin playing this very safe because he knows that Nocturne is very behind. So Nocturne may try to do something easy. So this 1Q here checked almost all of this part. Of course it's not going to be very far into the rush. Vlad doing okay in top lane, but as I said, like Shen is doing fine. He doesn't have to actually get ahead. Because the Azir is just going to be a powerhouse coming into later into mid game. And the fact that Nocturne is not going to be relevant. Like if they had another jungler, they could probably be a team that's being inactive. They actually would then be fine with just sitting and scaling, but the fact that Nocturne is so far behind and may be in need of like he has nothing really. He doesn't have an easy way to burst someone late game either. Like and shield is gonna be very good. Taunt, just a lot of way to stop him. So the fact that the Nocturne pick just doesn't quite make sense, and it's gonna, as I said, gets very punished by the Lilia. As you can see, Lilia is up 13. See, has that's like 3 camps at this point, which is really big, considering Nocturne is a very fast player. Ignore moving there, which is of course one of the things. Like when you're playing Ezreal Yuumi, you know your mid may suffer from the roaming capacities, because it's very hard for Ezreal Yuumi to punish. I'm just worried right now. What? Okay. So they push up. Why is Lilia not on Drake now? Does she have to clear top side? If she clears this, then she feels the absolute need to clear this. To clear your whole top side. It makes sense. Then she recall. Her race spawns now though. She opts into going further Braves instead of the Gromp and then Dragon. Or like just straight up Dragon, because they could have taken Dragon here. I'm just saying, like, it's not a big deal because they don't actually need the Dragon right now. But they could just accelerate their lead and actually get a full point in time. 20 minutes. Early 20 minutes. If she just opts into the boss side as it seems right now, she seems to be moving a very roundabout way about it. In a way, she probably lost time. I think she could have just went Gromp, really. If you really want to use one more camp, for whatever reason, does you get a level up from it? No? Nope, no reason to actually go for these raids right now, when you can just take Dragon and then do clear. Probably go Dragon and then maybe Wolf. Actually, you can go Dragon and then Gromp and then Wolf, probably. Yeah, as you see, they spawn now. So I think the route should have been from respawn, you just walk straight to Dragon. And then you opt into the Wolf, the Gromp, and then Wolf. And then mid lane should already have the push before that. And bot lane had the push to time this, so they'd be here just slightly before to set up Vision and start the Dragon. It would have been a smaller victory, I think. Because now they kind of lost a little bit of CS from walking Dragon later, when it wasn't ideal. When did they leave? So they shove up the next wave too. Did it matter actually? She gets Gromp. I mean, she got Rave. For this, she would have been done about 10 seconds earlier. She would have taken Wolf's Gromp now. She could be on Wolves now. Maybe she'd get like one camp extra. Because of this roundabout. Because then she could have also been pathing more effectively to get Wraith and then Golem. So I think the route is the route has to be Dragon, Golems, Gromp, Wolf, and you can go Raise and then Golems because you have nothing else to do because you're not getting anything done. So instead, what you did essentially was you went Raise through mid to Dragon to then, you did something here and then you're gonna walk. Actually, you don't even walk like that. You walk some roundabout way, and you went like here, and then you're gonna walk here. And if you're gonna keep farming, you gotta go all the way over here. Now, so it's a less linear path. Slightly delays the Dragon, only slightly, but probably won't matter on that part. But it's a small optimization possibility. So maybe you can opt into enemy jungle now, I guess. Guess that is a plus in all of this. It does line up better with the red buff. It doesn't actually matter that much here. Guess it delays that level 6. This is a thin, very a lot committed for a kill, but did get his flash too. They used Seer Flash, Fear ult. They did opt, they lost a wave in mid, and Niski gets a plate. Actually lost about almost 1.5 wave actually. So they lost about Niski gained about. He got a free wave, but he would have gotten that anyway. Let's just say he gets that anyway. So he gets a plate for 160 gold. Athir loses at least one wave to the tower. He probably lost more. He lost a wave and 2 minions on screen, and he probably lost more when he went bot there. Possibly like at least 3 minions during that time. So he lost almost 2 waves worth of minions, which is 100, 200 and 210 something gold. Plus that plate makes it relatively even in terms of gold. Actually, makes that TF gain the 360 deficit is what I'll be using, because it's not like he gained that gold, but Azir didn't gain it. Meanwhile, what they got on the bot lane was 450 kills, and maybe didn't get a plate even. So 450 from a kill plus assist is actually 400, something like that. I don't remember if it's 40, 50, or 60% that assist is split, but it's also less experience since it's all split up. On top of that, there was camps for Lilia to take. She could have opted into those to gain a similar win. So if you just stayed mid, that deficit wouldn't have existed. So that's, so all of a sudden it's only like a gain of 190 gold, and then you opt into, you analyze the fact that Lilia had to skip 2 camps essentially and do an, yeah, she missed taking, she could have taken golems at that time earlier and then be on time to take her wolves, and these things just delay all of the camps even more, and the experience is higher compared to a kill in all of this, and the goal is kind of even, really. Even if you opt into the fact that, if you look at the fact that Ezreal probably lost a bit of CS, the gain is very small for a lot of commitment, and there's of course the risk that he just doesn't die and you just lose all of that for nothing. That's why that actually is borderline a bad play. This is bad. Okay, so you have no prio in either lane. TF cannot push up fast enough. This guy is, Lilia is giving blue to Azir. They do spot this out on the ward, and Blabber just keeps going. He's like, I can do this fast enough. Lilia is hella fast. Vlad is only level 8. He has 20% CDR from items. It's probably a 25, depending on runes. 20, 25. Maybe it's almost 30 if he has scaling CDR, but he loses this. Even if he doesn't gain this, it's very risky, as TF had to move here. Vlad moved here. They were using summoners, just fighting, just like trying to catch something now. So just Herald is not worth this. It's not worth it at all. Even if they got it, it wouldn't have been a good thing. It's just like 360 gold. No, it's 320 gold. Essentially for a lot. This is also kind of bad. They're getting baited. Library is of course useless. This is like, okay, he can shove mid, deny a bit of CS, maybe create a 60 gold deficit, not fight this, get Channel, he's back here, just get the hell out. Like, it's great that he didn't get taunted and died because of it, but like, this Blabber play, man, this is too hard. They don't win this any day of the week. In a 3v3, Lilia is so good in Duelist, and the series is really strong right now. Compared to the TF, that's pretty useless aside from picks. TF is great when you have a man advantage, like he's great in 3v2s or 2v1s, or even like 4v3 where he can help block down a target and you can just burst him, like good at catching. He's good at, but when they're even in these like 3v3s, he's not very good at all. Skirmishing power is very low there. Ken of course always gonna be better than Vlad in skirmish for the like first 20 minutes, 25 minutes almost. This is very questionable, like I don't think he kills this. So, does Blabber ult? No. Why does he ult here? This is really odd. So, okay. Okay, so do you see him on the ward? So do you see him here? And he's like, okay, he has like 400 HP. How much damage can TF have, really? Tell me that, someone. It's just not enough. And because of the plant, he didn't probably account for that. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. So he's 560, 550 HP. Yeah, plus the shield for 1, 2, 250. And he just barely burst through the shield. So he had effectively what did I say? 550 plus 250. That's 800 HP. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Still true. It's if he forgot about channel. There's no way he bursted through that. But in a way, if there was no channels, he probably would have died here. The healing orb obviously helped a lot. He probably should have eaten that one. This one is the Vlad catches him, but like uses flash. I don't know if he ulted, but just a lot of commitment on small plays that you don't have to do. Because what you really want to do is, oh, you see Lilia was there? I'd be like, okay, whatever, the frick that. I'll go bot lane. Wait, let me see here. Yeah, I'd be like, okay, I don't have anything on my top side. Actually, let me just find the exact time where he sees this. Okay, so he pops this and be like, okay, Lilia has probably taken this, for sure taken this. I'd be like, okay, it sucks, but I'll take these golems down here, and then hopefully these spawns, and then maybe I can can't really see if how far dragon is. It should be up relatively soon. Yeah, I'd be like, man, and then I'm in a position to possibly contest dragon. Because maybe Lilia goes back. Like okay, yeah, maybe she doesn't, and I can't contest dragon anyway. But at least you had a possibility to set up that in case they don't. Or like at that point, maybe your ult would be up. Yeah, your ult would be up soon, so maybe you can set up something on bot lane or something like that. Like this play is just very desperate because you're not using your advantages, instead playing into what they want you to do. They want you to get baited by Channel. You shouldn't be baited by that. They want you, Lilia, want to be chased and try to people that just want that people trying to duel her. Now, of course, you would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for that pesky vampire. But you know. Up about 5 camps. Worth it. Top lane is even, mid lane is slightly behind, bot lane is even. So it's about 2k gold deficit because kills really, when it doesn't have to be that way. It's just very hard. Tiamat at this point. So Tiamat gives you the pushing power to shove in the Vlad again. And it's very likely it's gonna get to a point where Vlad is gonna start to just push out the wave and you can't really walk up and contest it alone. So in that way, Tiamat is good to open up more time. In a way, maybe you could try and sneak a plate. Maybe it's too risky. Nocturne's of course still there. I don't think Nocturne plus Vlad will kill you, but this roam set is a lot like good for in case they're trying to find something sneaky and secure this mid tower push. Like it's a big push together with the Herald, but it does net them the first tower, which you probably would have gotten without the Herald anyway. But at least it made it faster. Yeah, I don't know. This Tiamat doesn't do that much if you can't walk up and clear the wave anyway. Not that just like a Ruby Crystal or something would help you more, but like yeah, you can't really walk up to the wave anyway. Very hard. This is getting closer to where the oh no, is he building Trinity though? I don't think this is the play here. Is it? I think Iceborne Gauntlet is used a lot better. Who that? Yeah, this game is kind of over here. I mean, TF Pig is off theme. The Vlad is not very strong here. I think like Vlad can be good, but he needs the right conditions. This is not it. Similar to Nocturne. Nocturne is still a very strong pick. Just not here. Not here. And just no way to get anything done here with it. Just outpaced by Lilia. All lanes has prio essentially. If you're going for the style, like I don't mind this passive style where you shouldn't need to do anything, but then you can't opt into champions like TF that needs to get stuff done to do anything. You can't have Nocturne that relies on having relatively strong lanes to gank, or at least lanes that can help in skirm if the enemy is stronger than him in this, because Lily is actually just a really good pick into Nocturne. I don't know, just can't do anything. No instant ability to catch or anything like that. This third dragon is coming in here, which is very important. The enemy team, C9 has close to giving up here, it feels like. Because they're just not even trying to contest it. Like, it's not very important, it's a Cloud Drake. But like, Soul Point can be pretty good. Lilia likes that. Act likes that, Thresh likes it relatively much. To be able to use the ult and get in. Azir not doesn't matter that much because once he ults, he probably ain't moving much anyway, because no one's gonna be on him. But it depends a bit. Can reposition again after showing a shuffle easier. Yeah. The only way they win this here. Oh, I'm drawing stuff. The only way they actually win here is if they give Vlad enough time to just scale and he can get a good ultimate from a flank. But it's very hard for him to. Well, first of all, he gotta find the opportunities to farm because C9 just seems to want to do stupid shit all the time. I can just feel like Liquor's like, oh no, let's stop. And then he's like, well, I guess we gotta do what we gotta do, and then he dies. But like, I don't know. Later on, it's very hard to find the flank. That was like potentially the best position to get a flank on, but he's not strong enough. Because after that, coming from flank, then it's probably gonna be on watch. Spear can just ult him away. Arrow, he has to pull that. Thresh, it's just so much a way to peel him off. Hawkshock is also very big into that. Yeah, I think you should just freeze this really. Like, he has TP, right? In case something happens, you can just... Yeah. What does he gain on pushing up this wave? Essentially nothing, right? Like, in a way it makes it so Shen has to stay and he can't really ult away to do a play, but the rest of the team shouldn't be in a position where they can do a play, because Baron is like a pretty yikes objective right now. Do they do it fast? A little bit, yeah. Would Ori be good? Ori would be better. Ori would for sure be a lot better than TF here, I think. Actually, Ori would be really good. Why didn't I think of that? Orianna could help Nocturne a lot to get stuff done. Ori does well into the enemies. Doesn't have to get very ahead, still very strong. Is there any other AG jungler they could have opted into here though? Kindred? Probably not, right? Jarvan then? I guess. What the hell? Dude, this headset is crazy. Really crazy stuff. This is... Let me go back. Okay, so we established earlier that the dragon soul doesn't matter that much. Like, there was some like, okay, it's fine on these, but like, there's Cloud Dragon doesn't actually help you win the game. Usually, it's very rare for it to be impactful, but rather it's for the dragon also that the Elder Dragon. So with that in mind, consider that we already given up the earlier dragon because we are like, oh yeah, Cloud doesn't matter. So what are we doing now? We try and contest it, of course, because we're like, we need to contest. So we have vision. We see like, okay, they're all healthy. We have no way at actually engaging. He have fucking TPs behind them. It's like, okay, so now they're grouped up. This is a great Vlad ult. So this is absolutely the best kind of fight they could have had. Like, just doesn't get much better, but like, Vlad doesn't deal enough damage. Niski's kind of useless as a TF, you know, he's not very strong. Sven, tanking dragon, and he doesn't have his spikes yet, I think. Like, he 2 items. He can't really kite this out. Seer still had ultimate. That's how outclassed they are because TF doesn't do shit. Yeah, there's just no way here. Yeah, this is just Astral things really. Can I see a damage chart there? Because I'm pretty sure TF didn't do shit. compared to like what anything else would do. Fucking Nocturne as well, he's blown up instantly. Look at this, like. So we'll look again. Okay. So we have a flank here. This is a good flank. Blabber here. Salsa here, but right. So they're very split, coming from all directions really. Right. This Redemption is coming here preemptively, knowing this will happen. He even get hits by this. Then is like denying Vlad here, or at least trying to Proto Belt is going in, and an ultimate is gonna pop down. This guy's dead instantly. Most is drowsy here from the thing. Blabber dead. Yeah. Just doesn't make sense. Anything else that a bit more tankier would have been fine there to actually be able to do something. Vlad is just not strong enough. Did Astral have start the fight? Did Astral have Trinity? So Astral has his 2 items. He should be strong now, but he's not because like he should be relatively strong. Or rather, the fact that they've been outpaced so much because Nocturne is irrelevant and Vlad has no presence. They are able to get 3 dragons early on. It shouldn't be this way, but because of that, the fact that Astral is a very slow scaler is very detrimental to that fact. If it was like a 2-item hyper carry, like what's good into here? Jhin would be better. Jhin wouldn't be all that bad. Shen is a bit of a problem there, but like if he played Caitlyn, it would have been pretty good. I guess it would have been fine, a bit more useful maybe. Just very hard to get anything here, like the outskill, but the amount of tempo they managed to get because Blabber didn't give down, and they just kept playing into what they want to do a lot of times. This really hurts to see. They shouldn't be fighting this anyway. They should just wait a bit longer, because it doesn't matter if they get this dragon. The main thing is to deny the Elder spawning soon. Sorry. Okay. So now they're on the fucking Baron. Let me guess. Blabber's gonna get Vixen there somehow and just turn it ult in? No? Okay, good. Now, game is essentially over. Vlad is going for the Leonard's build, which, while Leonard's is very good, he probably need more oomph. TBH, like the Proto Belt into Leonard's is very like, Leonard's is very good to reposition very quickly in the Proto Belt, but the fact that he goes Leonard's with that, it doesn't really matter. Because he can't, even if he gets in and gets a good ult like that, it's just not enough damage, like burst damage where he needs it. Maybe large rods, 2 large rods would maybe outperform it in these situations, or at least like once the death cap comes in a bit later. Last team fight, TF did 1.9k, which is not a lot at all. Blabber of course did even less. And Lilia, like sure Lilia didn't do a lot, but she set up her kill team for very big damage and setup and stuff. Vlad flanking, getting ulted, get ult on like 3-4 people, only 2.1k damage because not doing anything. Yeah. Yeah, there's really nothing else here. Like, game is kind of over. Very hard for it to keep going, just keep fighting. Their wave play is pretty lackluster with TF here compared to like an Ori or anything else. The Baron really seals the deal. Yeah. Okay, let's go next game. This is the game they won, and I think their draft is actually worth this game. But it works out because several reasons. Right, so we'll break down this draft too. Is that what they pick, right? Yeah. So, once again, you see a bit of a theme, as mentioned before. Caitlyn banned, as before. FlyQuest also banning Seth, Olaf, Kalista again. They're banning the same things here. Cloud9 has the same first picks. They opt into Ezreal, and FlyQuest opts into a similar bot lane here. Last game they got Lilia instead of Thresh here, so they moved places on these drafts because they know this is the bot lane they want to play here because they assume the Yuumi will come out again because they played the last game, so why? And it didn't work bad for them on Cloud9, so why wouldn't they? So we opt into the best bot lane we think is good here for that, which happened to be this. This time, they don't pick TF here. They instead get Gangplank. Difference is, Vlad was not a very good pick, and Gangplank would have been a lot better. So this is a good upgrade. So they see like, okay, they're possibly going a similar composition here on bot lane, and Gangplank can help to put pressure elsewhere on the map together with whatever they choose to pick. With that, they opt into the Volibear. Volibear is of course gonna have to run into them. This is generally a pretty bad pick here. I think Volibear is not very strong into a matchup that can kite them and just create space and disorientate Volibear from his team. So following that, we get the TF ban because they, for some reason, think they're going to opt into this. Because last time they picked TF here, so they're like, okay, we want to secure Gangplank at least. So in that case, FlyQuest is like, okay, it's the same comp, just that to get Gangplank this time. So we just ban TF to make sure it's not the same. Trundle is, of course, a pretty good, relatively good pick into Volibear. It also gives away that they want to play tank. So it does kind of make you wonder if maybe they should have banned Seer here, or like they have Volibear, so maybe they want something more aggressive. So Quirky doesn't make sense. Quirky does absolutely not make sense in terms of like what they want to pick here, unless they're like determined that Akali's only bad matchup here is Quirky. In a way, I think blind picking Akali can be scary. Because Qiyana exists. Qiyana has very good matchup into Akali, but I guess they think Power of Evil does not play Qiyana. Now these two picks are what's really bothering me here, because Akali is a skirmishing champion, right? So she's pretty good into skirmishes. Very good as an assassination problem. Alternative. And Lee Sin, of course, is very good at ganking mid lane, ganking in general. He falls off. So, with having champions that cannot do anything in those ganks and arguably cannot outperform someone else in a skirmish, having a Lee Sin is a very big question mark. If Volibear were to come together with a Shen, for example, into your jungle, you're 2v2 with these two, lose. if you were to instead have with your mid, this is a good combo because you can set up kills, but it's not very good at the blind, I think, because you can be punished. Now, if the enemies picked Aether or if they picked Qiyana, Qiyana would probably beat that 2v2. They would be very low on magic damage, which is of course a problem, but like with the, I guess, yeah, Qiyana would not really come out here because of the composition of magic and physical damage on the team here. I guess, yeah, Akali is a good pick in a vacuum here, not considering the rest of the team. So these two are looking to get ahead, doing their things. Like this kind of has to happen too. The LeBlanc can play back. Very hard to gank, but Cloud9 Giga outscale really, which is like a big problem. Which is why I'm wondering, like maybe they could have just picked like Gragas would be pretty good here, I think. Because Gragas will work as a disengage for your poking comp, for your disorientation, and potentially poking as well, which is very good. Your wave clear, because you're kind of lacking hard disengage on your team when they have engage tool, catch tool, engage and catch, you know. It's like very easy to see what they want to do, and makes you wonder, like, is this really what you want to do? Because Lee Sin is good at contesting stuff, but you don't really have things to contest with on your team. Now, of course, it may sound like I'm making it like a very extremely bad pick, but I mean they turned out to win this specific game, so it has to be at least a little bit better, right? No. Yeah, it's actually better than last pick, but still kind of has its flaws. And I think it's more about Fly having a worse draft this game than last time. This time, they did not opt into the cheesier strategy they used last time, and Lee Sin at least gets his first buff. Volibear does very much outspeed him though, currently. Looking at how they move, I wonder if this is... I do think Lee should opt into mid here. And Volibear kind of has to... Volibear got a little bit of an odd route, because he's skipping golems just to take a long time, but he's opting into taking race, which doesn't actually benefit him here, I think. He takes skull, the skull, and gets here. So like, he's still missing experience from his level 4, but guess it's fine. They're a bit distinct on the blue side. Lee does a similar route here, and they're essentially just mirroring. That's a very good engage, but that's also very hard sin. This is like sinning the looks, man. He doesn't have to be here. He can just take the scuttle. Why is this heal coming out here? Why are they healing? Is it to get movement speed? The cleanse is clutch. Close. And the flash is really good here. And Centaurian just goes too hard when he doesn't have to. Yeah, the exhaust is really rough here. I guess he's kind of dead anyway, unless he backs off instantly after the flash. Then, yeah. Yeah, this is a really bad play. It's good. Very nice hook. But Centaur just fucking ends that so hard. And because of that, Lee gets to double scuttle. Yeah, he's trying to thin even more. So, if there was ever a reason why they should lose this, it's because of the tree thinner. Just, oh, they're coin flipping. Why? Just gain is very small. You're losing every time you're doing this. I just reevaluate again of what you should be doing. Like your all camps are freaking up. I'm just gonna check here. Okay, so you go here and you're ganking bot. You have 2 camps. You have a camp over here and camp over there. And like this is probably gonna spawn soon as well, and this as well. Like this is all gonna go here. So why gank? You gain more gold doing this pathing, and you're losing more by doing ineffective things like this. And you're letting Lee just do whatever he wants. Billy is gonna push in now with this. Akali's doing okay mid, behind a bit in CS, but the wave looked pretty big, so it's probably gonna even out. Top lane is doing fine as well. Really nothing special there. Shen has a hard time getting any like pressure onto him in lane, but TP can't really help with skirmishes unless the Shen screws up really hard, and or the gangplank is really good. Okay. Ezreal is opting for here plus pickaxe, which is it's okay here. Would I prefer pickaxe plus Sheen if you had the possibility to? Maybe if you really needed to secure Dragon. Volibear is kind of behind right now, kind of very behind actually. So I don't think Volibear is looking to contest anything, and FlyQuest's having a bit of trouble. What? Wait, what? Okay, so Ollie's going here. Blabber's here. Why does he do for this kick? What? Am I dumb? What is this for? Okay, so he goes there, he W's. He's safe if he just runs to Akali because these two people can't really go for him. This guy is not in the fight. Even if he were to walk up here and escape, the LeBlanc could possibly find him because she's walking there. He just doesn't. Maybe he tried to get up here and then trying to get away somewhere. I guess he thought LeBlanc was closer to mid lane. No, I don't know. Doesn't. Oh, this is really bad. Oh well. Micro mistakes isn't really what I want to look at anyway. So, but oh, they had a pretty good freaking idea, and then overstaying, committing over 60 gold when they have the option to just farm a lane or two. Ash is moving top lane, Shen is bot lane now. Okay, so he's getting caught, and Yumi's like, I'm out. If Yumi stayed, Yumi would probably die anyway, yeah. Okay, that's a good cat. He's getting all the way in there thinking he can do anything, but Yumi early is very weak right now. Can't really do anything there. Okay, they have rotated for a scuttle. Whoa! Bot lane is being farmed at least. The Blanc is doing the correct thing here, shoving up mid. Or no, freeze plus. Top lane is not being farmed. 320 gold is gonna make or break the game, guys. Let's play like it matters. Blabber is inting. Tries really hard to secure it. Getting the Herald is not worth dying for because you're giving up more gold than it's worth. Because you're giving up 450 gold. Makes you wanna cry. Okay. So instead of giving them 320 gold, instead of giving them 320 gold, they also gave 2 kills, which is 450 if you count for assist gold as well, times 2. So 900 plus 320 gold, which is 20 gold. You just gave them, like, on top of this, just for free. If you're greeting over it, could just give it up, don't need it. Let's not even account for the fact that no one were farming this lane, no one was farming mid. So you could actually neutralize that as well a bit. That 320 gold, you could have probably made it like, okay, it's a 200 gold gain for them. Not even including the fact that they're losing on experience. Just... yeah, this is a pretty good fight. They can fight this. Very nice. Very sinful of them to try and catch. Is it a misplay? Why this happens? Oh, he just walks a long way. So he's there very late. Then he can't really 2v2 them. Gangplank ult is also very important here. One versus 2 champions! Let's go! Let's go. Let's sin. Getting a replay of this stuff. Okay, what is the... This is another one of these simple things, I think. Right, so he thinks he's alone. So he's going for the... He's snared on there and then it's like... Yeah. Not even sure he would kill him. Because Shen was coming too. very hard for Niski to remember that Shen is a champion in this game. Something you always have to do is just keep reminding your team. Shen is very real. Now the Volibear also did a lot there, but they were probably just like just with Shen. Either one. And they get caught instead. Polly's not working out here. Polly's trying too hard to get advantages early on. Still early on, relatively. For first item, which is very weak. LeBlanc now has Ludens and a Needless Large Rod and Pen Boost. That's big. Big buy. Holy shit. She is, yeah, oh my god, she just finished Ludens, got a Large Rod and Pen Boots. It's like she had, oh, how much does it cost to finish Ludens? I don't know. But the other items, that's 2k gold at least, so probably closer to 3 than 2, which is insane. Yeah, LeBlanc is very big, but like, CS different jungle is pretty relevant, and on top lane too. Gangplank is doing a pretty good job here actually, and just gonna cash in on that Cole inanimate now. Just gonna go catch that wave and then pop essentially. Yeah, I can see how they lose this, but like, likewise he's just not getting the advantage that they want, which is kind of odd considering how big LeBlanc is. It just falls short here and there, sadly. The Lee Sin pick is not very impressive. Not sure why my headset keep dying. I'm gonna change back to my normal one after this. This is another useless fight. So let's not even forget that this is a pre-14 minutes Herald. So this one is actually not worth shit. This one it's almost like feeding your enemies 50 gold from killing it. Like, it's worth the gold you get from killing it, I guess, but how do they screw up this fight? So Niski starts this shit, and they're all here. Gangplank is walking there. No one's farming this wave on top lane. It's dying. Mid lane is being farmed by Wild Turtle, and bot lane, like, they have Shen ult, but like, so they opt into going hard in. The only one Power of Evil actually chunks is Blabber, so that doesn't actually do that much. Volibear is going in there as well. It's going really deep in there. Nith gets free access to Wild Turtle because Ignore is ignoring. Okay, Niski just offs into the Power of Evil instead. Very chaotic fighting. Akali doing a lot. I don't know, fucking hell, what are they fighting for? They did get the shutdown on LeBlanc. So that's a pretty good win for them, but is it good play anyway? Probably not, right? Like, who got the kill? It was Sven. Sven is actually ahead of LeBlanc now. LeBlanc is like 2.3k gold ahead of the LeBlanc, Akali. Jungle is ahead about 900 gold in the for Volibear, and top lane is hyper scaling that, even though he doesn't have a lot of kills or even an outstanding CS. It's due to the accelerated gold as well as the gold lead of about 40 minions almost. It adds up to about 1,400. Support diff is also big, where Thresh is very behind somehow. By about 800 gold. The ED diff is about 2k. All in all, that kill could have been detrimental to the success of 4C9 this game. Also that the arrow miss, if it was a bit lower, would have hit Niski. Niski wouldn't assassinate Power of Evil here. That's... how does PoE die here? Oh, he goes in, and then he's just confused. Oh. Here we can see. Ah yes, the Herald gave so much. It gave them a tower they would have gotten anyway. Not sure what the fuck. Oh, there's no tower. Yeah, go, Akali. See how it goes. Yes. It's very hard to think to actually burst him down. Guess you can get him off the way, but like walk in top, you're gonna have to TP if you want to contest this dragon. Probably shouldn't, should just let it go, but like yeah. You just need to play slow on C9. C9 doesn't have to do anything to be proactive in this game. You really absolutely do not need to. I don't see a reason why they should. Aside from pushing their lead, but they already have a lead. So that's passively is going to accelerate. It's not like you're giving an opportunity for like a quest to come back by scaling. Like every minute that goes by where you don't give the FlyQuest a chance to fight and maybe get a good team fight is a minute that you're winning. Because the longer it goes, the later the fight goes, the higher chance you are winning. As long as you're keeping up with the CS and farm. How long is this game? It's just gonna keep going for a pretty long game. Why are we fighting? Okay, so LeBlanc, Volibear's bot lane. They are pushing that wave up to why are they pushing up that way? No idea. They're farming it. But for some reason they can't just last hit it. Okay, they chunk Niski out a bit. This GP ult should be a good indicator that you should probably get the fuck out. Oh, they're trying to catch Ezreal here. Should probably not be able to be possibly slash splash and Yuumi on him. Just very hard. Back off here. Very questionable why this happened. She's Shen ulti, ignite, threshold for Ezreal summoners. I guess that's okay. Yuumi summoners too. Yeah, I can see the bit. I don't know what Picker's doing this far up, but they're also like, why are they bot lane? Okay, so he opts to stay for some reason, but Shen hadn't recalled yet. He knew they were bot lane, but yeah. Yes. No fighting. Keep not fighting. Keep not fighting. Fighting. Decap by LeBlanc. Now it's a very scary time to fight because I think she's the strongest now that she's gonna be. Arguably, Void Staff is also pretty good on her still, but like as team goes on, it's gonna be kind of hard to get those bursts down through the Yumi heal. And Ezreal is gonna be very slippery now with the stance. 3 items are very good here. Does Ezreal build Leandris here? Maybe not. Maybe, but I don't think so. Hard to say. This is another one of these questionable fights. Okay, so FlyQuest has 2 dragons, okay? Because we gave them that, which is fine. Third Draken does worry you because it is what is it, Elder? Oh yeah, you have a Drake even, so it's pretty far into the game. And you decide to contest this. Akali's not here yet. She does have TP though. Shen has ult again. There is literally nothing. Ezreal does not have summoners, so that's pretty risky. They're starting it. They're looking to do it, but as you see how Volibear kind of hitting it a bit, but he's not using abilities to try and burst it down, aside from his bite, right? So you can see that he's trying to bait C9 into getting closer and try and contest him from it. So he flashes onto them when they get close enough and try and burst them. That Threshing Gaze is also very good here. They're not respecting the like engage at all. They don't have to go in yet. Yeah, and Niski plays that so bad. Not sure what he's gonna look to engage in here. They opt into getting mid. Maybe they're going from Baron. Okay. Yeah. Okay. GPS no ult yet, right? Not yet. So they don't really have a way to stop them. Yeah. The color pick is not showing off here. Because, yeah, well, Lee Sin is not either really very good pick either. He's not getting anything done. The fact he won that Smite fight there is very important. Because it buys them more time if they were needed. But like, Fly are so determined to fighting this. They don't need to. At most, you can have Centaur and try and smite seal it, because then there you have a match soul point, which is relatively good for you. Now, the fact that you guys are walking this up means that you're thinking that you 100% win the fight. Otherwise, you shouldn't risk Baron. Risky play for no gain. So you get Baron free, and then you int it away. Very, very old here. Would have been better to just play sides for sure, instead of trying to force to get the soul point there. Like, soul point is good, of course, but like the fight was not really necessary when you have the advantage and ability to play lanes as a lot safer and a better alternative. This Chase is just kind of useless at this point as well. It's very hard to catch him. If anything, you're kind of risking getting caught yourself at this point now. Yeah, GP ulti coming in eventually. Instead of just farming the lanes, playing it safe, you know. Yeah, I can't say that Colley's doing what you kind of wanted to do here, but Lee just denying recall. Okay, that's game 2. A lot of things to look at there. FlyQuest contesting things they don't have to, and still did C9, but Cloud9 used to outscaled essentially. Some picks were a bit questionable. I made it a lot harder than it had to be. FlyQuest were of course not very good in some of the engagements and fighting when they don't have to, and could have alternatives really, especially around the Herald and like other options. Okay. Now this time Cloud9 is on red side and FlyQuest on blue. Okay, so we have our draft. So once again, I'll take notice of this again. C9, the team that bans Kate, they do not want to give them Kate because they want to play Ezreal. That's their game plan. So this is a bad matchup because Kate beats Ezreal according to them. Seems like they don't want to play Ashe, who seems to be a very strong option here. Instead, FlyQuest this time opts into Senna, a very strong scaling pick into very, very late if the game goes on for long enough. Very start scaling. They opt into the first pick on Grave, which means who is a champion that can gank okay, very fast clear, can duel very well against most junglers, and have the ability to scale pretty well into late game as a marksman, very tanky marksman option. This of course is once again a very strong combo as a response. As far as ban goes, like there's nothing outstanding else. This time Cloud9 bans that. Same bans essentially. Difference is they don't ban they don't ban Set this time, they ban TF here. Because they don't want TF on R3, which they're scared of, I guess. Which is a bit odd because they opt into a Seer later, but like it's hard to say why they're banning TF. Otherwise, it's relatively similar draft from the side of Cloud9. The top side is, bot and top is same. Last game, because it seemed to work out right. They do see the Shen, so they feel this matchup is good. It worked out last time. Wild card here is of course these two here. Graves do not really like Gangplank. Very tanky, can chunk. Pretty good from range. Graves generally do not want to use his ammo on barrels, as they soak the damage up pretty well if placed correctly. Senna supposedly very stationary when she's casting her things, making it very easy for Ezreal to keep stuff out doing, which I assume is the reason why they're never scared of Senna when they have Ezreal. I just trying to get in the head of why they're prioritizing this bot lane so hard. Following this, we have the LeBlanc ban again. I guess they were really scared of Power Feeble's LeBlanc, which is really strong, and the engage of Thresh. Thresh ban is questionable as there are alternatives as shown with the Nautilus. Very similar concept, a bit more of a aggressive support and very strong lockdown. With 3 abilities to be able to lock someone out together with the Q passive and the ult, compared to Thresh that have a harder time doing that. This is probably easier to catch down the Astral. It also has more of an indirect way of taking care of the Gangplank as the Threshold is very delayed. So in a way, this is actually better. In a way, that is, of course. It scales a bit worse, less defensive options. So a ganking jungler is about a lot harder to play with here, but also they have a lot more damage. So Gragas, who I think is a great pick here, actually, like fits everything here. He adds disengage, adds burst potential, adds flexibility in damage composition in top lane. It's generally very strong. Also, is a good pick into a seer as the body slam and be able to lock him down and shoot him away if he tries to engage. Now, Zoe partly makes sense. Zoe is generally a pretty fine pick, but I do think she has a hard time getting damage onto some of these, as she's very, her range isn't as big as you'd like without ultimate, and the flanks are pretty hard to get. So I do think Kog'Maw would be better. Pog'Maw, you know, because they do fill out a similar role later on as a poke champion, but Kog'Maw generally have more damage output later on in terms of use poke, and he also has the paper range, which makes it sure that Azir never gets in range to engage. Nautilus never gets in range either, and he generally has an easier time clearing both the backline and front line of the minions. Just a lot stronger wave clear, just a better pick unless you need to get stuff done early, which you don't, because you outscale. Probably. At least with Kog'Maw you do. But otherwise, like, if it was Kog'Maw, it would have been good comp. Gragas generally can live on a low budget. He doesn't have to get stuff early. He has a decent way to get away from champions in the body slam form and flows, and he gets pretty chunky naturally. Just an undervalued pick. Okay. Graves is walking up to get some vision. It's already warded. Gragas probably starting bot side here. They might be trying something cool here, like some cheese. Because I noticed in the first game that worked, so they're gonna try doing it again here. That was pretty good poke on Centurion though. This is not very good at all. Once again, when you have Ezreal Yumi, you cannot fight. You cannot like fight back on this. You just let it go. You can't go here like these are all healthy. They're just getting caught. Yeah. Yeah. Fucking. See now you give this shit up. Let's go top side. Opt into top side. Clear. Here, at this point, I'd be like, okay, we're out. Get out. It's like we got Ignite, use Summoners. This is the absolute, like... Why are they walking here? Why are they walking here? This is what I'm asking. Why don't they walk back to lane? They're trying to keep fighting here. Yeah. Big crash on this tower. Not sure why he's here. It's a very big crash. He can use back. What? What is he waiting, staying for? He has no mana. He chunked solo. He gets a free back. Right? Like he obviously stayed too long for the next wave to even like again get there. Waiting for. I guess it's a way of securing the Blabber gets this blue instead. But like I think you just back, go back with mana, and then you can keep pressure up. On your back, you can get like a Dark Seal. You can get Crystal, Ruby, Sapphire Crystal, either one. Oh. What a useless fucking gank. Yep. And you're gonna shove in for no reason. Now, instead, he could have backed before. Okay, whatever. Whatever. He gets a Sapphire Crystal and Coal. That is a pretty good back though. I give him that. But he probably would have had at least a Coal before. If he wanted to Coal. Dragon is being taken away. There's nothing Gragas can do. Bot lane should just be careful. Don't really need to help the Graves to do it. They're looking kind of grim in how they're playing. From here on, they probably... Alright, Gragas is trying to gank bot. But I think he just has to, like... not gank. Is there any camp that's respawning soon for him? I haven't really been keeping track of it. Because it's like... fact that... that he can't get any farm right now kind of sucks. Okay, his top side is spawning now at least, so at least he can go and farm that, because he just needs to get a little bit of items and then he's useful enough. Because there's no world where he outpaces or out-tempos the Graves. It's a very high tempo jungler while being a not a high tempo jungler, as you could say. This crash is happening here. He doesn't. I guess he assumes the Graves is bot lane, or else he's kind of having a hard time there now. Guess he's too healthy to be bursted on, he thinks. But yeah, Graves is walking up and taking the blue now. I don't know if they can actually contest it. They're not strong enough. So this is pretty good. Graves just we take the jungle as it spawns to deny the blue buff. This time you should probably secure some blue buff as well. It takes off into a longer route. Gragas can't really take it, I think, because Gangplank is, unless he has time to set up prior on lane, Gangplank does not win the early trade still, I think. And so he has to hit a very good bubble for it to be possible. Oh, that's a very big chunk. Then ulti is of course something to remember to not do it myself. This makes it very hard. Yeah, this is kind of what I expected. So they can't really fight this. Even if Shen is really chunked here. Graves is very strong. Azir is very strong. He can't really fight back, so he's too chunked. Herald has been taken, but why is no one on C9 farming bot lane, mid lane, or top lane? They're using a TP to get bot lane now, but how long has it been since someone was bot lane? Okay, he's recalling here at 9:20, 9:25, 9:30. So I guess it's just the way, right? What about mid lane? How long has no one been in mid lane? On the side of C9. Oh my god. Okay, so he shoves it in at 9:50. Okay. New wave arrived. Azir gets that wave. Pushes in for the next wave and denies that wave. So that's one wave. Ezreal is now backing. Okay, so there's two waves in mid. Two for C9 and one for FlyQuest. Bot lane is losing one wave on bot lane for C9. Actually, it's being shoved in, and GP catches it. Top lane is kinda yikes though. On the side of C9, I think. Both sides. Oh my god. Gangplank goes it up here. Same time as Zoe. When someone gonna farm it though? Oh, well, I accidentally screwed that up. Yeah, it's very bad actually. They're losing several waves for this, especially on C9. It's very sloppy and very unnecessarily aggressive fighting. When you have goal in front of your eyes and you opt into taking like throwing a coin to get the same kind of goal, like what the fuck? Mm, same thing again. Fighting. Why are they here? They say they're doing it. Trying to take it. You took it actually. Good job, but no, kinda don't need to. Oh, he's not gonna outperform Azir later on, which is sad. Kog'Maw would have been so good. You can't really gank the Kog'Maw either, potentially. Okay, let's look at this fight. Actually, let's look a bit earlier. Because at this point I'm really tired of this shit. I don't even know if I want to watch the last game. What? Okay, so this is a gank bot lane. Oh, that's a pretty good flash. Oh, that's a very good prediction. Ooh. This fight, I don't know. They don't really want to fight. Ezreal doesn't have Muramana yet. He doesn't have boots too. Midlaner has one item. Like, sure, Soy one item is okay. Gangplank one item is meh. But he's not farming anything when he should. Instead of using their TP or anything like that. Seems like it turned out fine in the end. Oh. Oh, didn't quite get him. Sad boys. This game he opts into the Iceborne. This is the problem with Nolly. He doesn't do shit. It's like, oh, he deals the damage. Like, he did like 200 damage there on the Gangplank. And, like, after that, you're kind of useless because you're fucking chunked out. You can't contribute anything to the fight anymore. It's very hard if you don't get stuff down the lane to say that Null is good. I think it's very, very overrated. Like, sure, you can do Cat later on, but I mean, fucking so can Morgana and be more useful as well, for example. Or Syra can also do that and contribute actual damage. Guess, oh, but you're squishy, like, fuck that. All this is squishy as fuck. Compared to, like, actual tanks, that is. Like, if it doesn't matter if he would be tanky because he doesn't contribute anything to fights after like 15-20 minutes. Very hard to make it worth unless like it's a cat, but then you could have catched with anything else. So officer laning, useless pick, I think. Wild Turtle opts into the lethality build here, which is odd. They all have armor, or they should have armor on C9. Make it not valuable. You're not gonna hit Yumi. Ezreal has Iceborne. Yumi. I mean, Zoe's just. If you see Zoe, you're gonna be sleeping. Gragas is going for Sonya's now. Gangplank, I guess? Kinda hard to reach though. But yeah. Guess it's not a lot of armor yet. So during this time, it's probably better. Not a math guy, so. Okay, so Zoe's moving down here. Kind of risky. Not sure why she walks so close to the wall. I mean, she'd probably get caught anyway, I think. But like, if you ever run down here, you always hug the far right wall. Maybe she'd have time to post. I don't know. Don't think so. Probably. This is a very simple play anyway, so. Where's the rest of the red team? They're all TPing in now. The Gangplank is ulting in. Guy's dead. they're just fighting because, oh, someone gets caught and they're like, we gotta fight. Let's fight. Fight, fight, fight. Oh yeah, they're dead as hell because they're trying to stay around too long. Probably. Oh, are they getting away? Oh, no. Yeah, they tried to help them out and just paid for their lives. How does C9 throw this? They should be ahead now. I guess. Just so we can be a bit of liability here moving forward. Niski have not been performing this series so far. Just always can't really blow up Shen. I guess Nihilus is still within reach, but it doesn't really matter if you get him. The series lurking around. Not sure what mid is doing. Top as well, no one's farming top. Oh, slippery, 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 slippery. Yeah, and then they should just fail. No. Blabber, don't. Just go mid, go bot, go top, just push up 2 waves. Are you gonna sin and get Baron, really? Okay. Right, yeah. Guess they can't, they're not in a position to contest it, so it works out fine. Because for some fucking unholy reason, Gracious walks bot and just gives it free. I guess they just don't think they can contest it, I guess. Yeah. I saw this, I was watching. Dragon is super too. That's a fucking good cat. Oh, yep. Fucking. So he has to walk far up, even with ult range. Like, it makes you stationary for too long, and not enough range to be able to be safe. Giving up this dragon. This is to opt into top lane, it seems. I think this is the good play from C9. Just playing top side instead. Because there's really no way to contest this. They should really not try and catch this as well without Zoe. Zoe cannot be like excluded from the fights. Too much of their damage right now. C9 seems to be still sieging this relatively well. Didn't get that much damage on it, but they can just keep doing this, having the split. Should. Where is Gragas going? They can't split 3 ways. Gragas has to be like hovering in the middle, or stay very close to either one of them, because, right, like, this move by Gragas here is kinda not good. There's really nothing there to do. You can't go for tower. They won't go here, right? Guess they're thinking they're just gonna stay there and just looking for a flank, but kinda like costing the gangplank. They could have gotten in the mid tower and not lost gangplank at the same time there. Oh, that's really bad too. Getting caught. Over commitment. Because they don't have gangplank as a pressure tool anymore, so there's nothing really stopping them from just going in here. And C9 is pretty screwed here. Yeah, going pop by that shouldn't happen. Yeah, by not positioning in the enemy jungle in between the lanes you're pushing, you're kind of inting that away, just giving them an opportunity to actually just engage on one of them, and then you overstay and get caught instead. Yeah, Gragas is on the wrong side. Like if Gragas was here or here, he could have like, oh, I can stop these, or a body slam or here, ult over, and then split up the fight. And T9 could have, I mean, Licorice could have walked upwards. Leoners by GP is probably good here, right? Thing is, they have very much MR on a lot of champions on the FlyQuest, so it is arguably still not. It's hard to. Probably better with just Death Dance actually here, because of the amount of MR they have. And they're just getting caught. Like, okay, they need 3 people to shove in mid, it seems like, when the jungle has camps up. And they don't really have vision set up. Like, this is like, why are you fucking blind walking into the brush here? I guess they don't know that they went over the wall. Oh, they should have seen Shan walk in there. And then know they're over the wall. Very odd. It could be that the ward is actually wrong placed, because there is a few pixels where you either don't see people here or you see them for like a frame. If you place this ward not like in the corner here, this brush, which actually makes sure that you always see people here. But considering the placement, there is a chance they actually did not see them. And then this also gets caught here. Pretty good damage though, I guess, but he goes. Merc treads on GP here. I guess it's scared of the Shen taunts locking him down. Their damage shouldn't really be that big of a factor. Grace damage is more relevant here. Onto him. Here will use to front to back, and he shouldn't really be in the front a lot of times, but not lockdown doesn't matter that much either. Please fucking get his fire because of that fucking catch. Oh. Yeah. C9 are just not respecting the and thinking where FlyQuest could possibly. They have some interesting angles in how they position, which makes it very good for catching people out. You just don't respect it though. But like if it was Kog'Maw instead of fucking Zoe here, it would have been better, because it's not a blind pick. It wasn't a blind, so it would actually have been possible to pick Cog into a Seer here. They did lose Soul. They lost the Baron. Like, this is catastrophic because C9 just like are in a good seat, good position, but they get caught because their composition is too low range on the Zoe. Like, you're too stationary when you're walking forward like that, so it's very hard to actually get any catches or fights done. You can't poke them up before the fight because they're engaged. He's too long range here, I think. Also, that's pretty bad. You just made Sven get chunked, Blabber, because you got caught by that. In this case, not doing shit, not hitting a single Q. This what? No, what? What? Yeah, that's very questionable. Hmm. Yeah, that's very int. Yes, they got a tier for it, but like it's they really need Astral Gear right now. He's so strong. He's 4.5 item, not even including boots. He's like almost full build. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Yeah, I think that chase lost him the game. That was like the final nail in the coffin here. Yeah. There's no way of getting here now. They had an opportunity before, but they can't anymore. Just so he doesn't have enough poke frequently. Like, she has burst if she hits it, but it's too tanky front lines right now, and yeah. I see how descent. That's fucking sad. And then you stage it to end right. Yeah, let's just quickly look over the last game. Look at draft and then judge from there. So let's see what was the last lock in here. They picked Sirigan, Malzahar. Oh yeah. Which is okay here. Okay, so once again, similar things. They banned Kate. They choose to ban Lilia the last few games. Graves is banned this time too. So they no longer ban. Let's see, they ban this. What was their other ban? There's something else they banned that they no longer ban then. I do not remember. Oh well. Once again, this bot lane, this is what they want to do. Like, it's very clear that they're opting into the same kind of thing. It's kind of hard to pivot away from this. Like, you can opt into like, okay, we're playing a weak bot side, but like because of the Yumi lock, and you know they're playing weak bot side, but they also have a low econ possibility, or like not low econ, but he's very self-sufficient and doesn't take a lot of resources in a way that most people think. Like, I don't know. They can't blind pick Cog this game though, which is a problem because you can't blind pick Cog, I think. Problem with once again with Zoe is very mid-game orientated later on. Like, sure, if she can get burst on people, but she can't get it on Shen, she can't get it on Volibear now. Probably really hard on Senna because a lot of chunky front lines, and Malzahar is very good here. I think this like Soy picks a liability for sure here. What would I rather have? Maybe a Seer. Seer would make a lot more sense here. Leeton, once again, doesn't make sense at all. Gragas was a lot better. Gragas did a lot more. Leeton just doesn't do anything against them. You can't break any of the lanes. Can't gank the bot lane. You can't gank the top lane. You can't win skirmishes against the Volibear, I think. It's not looking bright. Let's go this really quickly and see where it goes wrong. Doesn't seem to be any cheesy stuff this game. Normal stuff. Pathing. Volibear opting into a faster clear than last time. Lee Sin is opting for a slow clear to get Scuttle. Volibear is opting for a very odd clear. It's not very efficient in how he passes back and forth, but it is a way for him to... Oh, never mind. So, Volibear goes red, blue, Gromp, Wolf, so he wraps back. This is what you do, is like, okay, I was going to do an early gank bot, but it doesn't... But I don't have an opening, and top lane has an opening. So I wrap back, or like, okay, I have the possibility to go bot lane in case as a counter gank for Lee, but I opt into like pathing back, and that's fine because then you can gank top lane, or you can take it as a way to gank mid or contesting Scuttle. But now just fucking stupid part where he just does that and he just opts to go back to the previous Scuttle. Like if he just went red Wraiths, Wolves, blue Gromp, he would have been there 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds earlier. And you may say, oh, that doesn't really matter that much. It fucking does. It does when you're recalling. And if you were here about 10 seconds earlier, maybe you could contest your golems, or you could be freaking in mid now, in position to gank if that's what you want to do. Alternatively, walk top, because Lee's probably going to gank that guy. Because he's just inting his lane really hard here. He's going to have to flash. It's good. It's very hard to get anything else done early, so Volibear insist on walking bot lane here, taking golems. This Gangplank is doing really good. I'm glad. I think that's a bit too far, my dude. Like even with the Volibear here, there's like kind of overcommitment. She's too tanky to get him from 100%. I guess it made you get one plate for 2 ultimates and a flash, which are very high value actually, especially when Dragon is up, and you probably need to get Dragon. Or like you want Dragon, so you can deny enemy future Dragon Stratter, as they are a team. As we know that the Dragon will be relevant, because we know it's not Cloud Drake, so the soul will be relevant. What? It's very odd how he... It's fine. not gonna comment on it, rather. They do lose a bit of creepy mid. Okay, C9 have set up for success, potentially. They have 800 gold lead. They can outscale if they play the lanes correctly. Even if Lee Sin does not scale very well, neither does Volibear. So that's relatively even in a way. So he's probably a bit of a thinner champ here. Malzahar is pretty good and can't really be caught or touched by her, especially later on because of the shield. Oh. Okay, so he ults and Shen just ults at the same time, so okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty smart. Good synergy, actually, of the champions. To set up a kill on them. Do lose a little bit of it, because it's fine, doesn't matter. What the fuck is wrong with you? My headset just keeps dying. I don't understand why. It's really odd. How the fuck can he lose this game? Okay, Lee Sin just gets caught and dies. Sven dies. Because he has no E. He doesn't flash. I don't understand what. Let me check here. Maybe I'm just dumb. Okay. So yeah, it's a bit of a problem because he got silenced and Shen is on the other side as well, so. Why are they here? Dragon spawning soon, right? But they don't really need it that much. Like it's a plus, but it's not part of their supposedly game plan. Okay, I'd be like, no, this is really bad. Why? You're alone. You're essentially alone. Malzahar, screws yours over here. So he just doesn't deal enough damage. And this keeps splashing. Probably right. Yeah, take it out then. C9 should still be ahead. But you know, Zero lead. Yeah, makes sense. Stop. Why? Okay, so Senna's top lane. Volibear is in his jungle, so he's walking there now. You don't need to catch anything. You're in a winning position. anything you do just gives them a chance to turn on you. This is just like, okay, yeah, he's alone. It's like, okay, except we don't know where Volibear is, you know. We don't know where Akon is. Just screw that up. Yep. Yep. We just into the Ezreal. Ezreal just into that. Yeah. Or it would be better than Zoe. Yeah, like Orianna, Asir. Zoe is just okay, but why? Don't see the point. Just not that good here. I guess they just like, I don't know. There's really not much more to say about this game. It's kind of the same things that are happening in all other games. Taking bad fights, not playing to how they should be playing. Sven getting caught and then just poo poo pee pee. Niski can't fight this at all. I'm done.